Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. So today I'm really showing you a practical case of how we are using memoQ, AI, and the Stream Deck all combined. And if you're wondering, in case you're wondering what a Stream Deck is, it's something like this. Mine is a mini version. You have them with more buttons and more possibilities. It's basically a control pad. It has buttons that you can program to do almost anything you want to do in your computer. You basically just press a button and it will do it for you. And yesterday, some of you asked me, why a Stream Deck? Why did you come up with this idea? So we first started with macros. You know, some keyboards have the opportunity to use macros, but not all of them, and they're very limited. So we started to look into other possibilities, and Stream Deck came up. We also have some gamers in our teams, so they helped us with that as well. And I'm going to show you how we are using this. First of all, this may seem very obvious. We've created some buttons to optimize things like confirm segments. And you may say, yes, but confirming segments is just pressing 2 keys in your keyboard. And I'll say, yes, but this is on one button. You don't have to memorize shortcuts. And I have some translators in my team. They are not even touching their keyboards anymore to translate. They use voice to text. They use a Stream Deck. And that's it. They just sit at their desk, talk to the computer, and keep pressing a button. And this is much more comfortable to them. And to some of them, it increased their productivity by something like 10%. So it has been seen to have benefits. And then we started, this was the beginning. Then we started to think, what else can we automate? What else can we improve? Search. For example, here, if you want to search a term in IATE, you just have to press a button. It will you have to highlight the term you want to search for, press a button, it will search it for you in your language pair that is configured. You don't have to open the browser, go to the website, and do the search there. It will be automated, saving you loads of time. It also helps, you don't have to navigate through interfaces, it will open it for you, it will do everything for you. Then, next step, AI. We started to think, okay, we are using ChatGPT. Can this be automated as well? Can our prompts, we have an Excel with a lot of prompts, and it was time-consuming every time we wanted to use it, opening the Excel, copy-pasting the prompt, copy-pasting the text. Can we automate this? We can. Again, with Stream Deck and hotkeys, this can be automated. So I'm going to show you some examples of how we are using this. You've just seen an example where ChatGPT is finding synonyms for me for a term I've selected. Press the key, it will find the synonyms, it will give you a list in just seconds. Then, clarify some texts. We have a client who sends us instruction manuals to translate. And these instruction manuals were translated from, were machine translated from Chinese into English, so the English is not understandable. We created a prompt that will clarify this for our translators so that they know what they're translating. Grammar and spell checking is also a possibility. You just have to select the text, click a button again, and ChatGPT will just check your grammar and your spelling. By the way, we are using ChatGPT for O, the paid account for this. We have an account for our translators to use. We also have some clients who asked us to do some transcreation. So they are looking for less literal translations. So what we are doing is we can translate via the normal way, either with machine translation or human translation, and then we ask ChatGPT to basically rewrite it for us, just creating a more, in a more natural way, in a way that is not as stuck to the original, and send then this to the client and achieving their needs. Regular expressions. If you were here last year and you hear me talking, you know that we had extensive training with our teams in where to use regular expressions in memoQ. So now they know where to use it, they don't know how to create it. So they ask ChatGPT to do this for them. they have to select the use cases they want. For instance, here, they wanted to create a regular expression that would recognize all of these email addresses at once. So they select the cases, press a button, ChatGPT will try to create a regular expression for you. However, as you know, it doesn't always make it the right way at the first time. Here you can see that we don't have all the cases we want highlighted, but that's an easy fix. You can just do it like a follow-up prompt and say, look, it failed here, can you please improve it? And it will work. Then we started, next step was, okay, now there's these multimodal options, how can we use this to our advantage? Term extraction was the first thing we tried. We have this text, and we asked it to do the term extraction for us, but not only do the term extraction, also export it to an Excel format that memoQ will recognize. And you will see the results. It extracts the terms for you. It gives you the document that you can export. And this document looks something like this. You have the source term, the target, and the definition, if you want a definition. And this is ready to import to memoQ. You don't have to do anything else with it. You can just import it to a term base in memoQ and use it there. But also with translations. We are starting to have clients who are asking us to use AI in their jobs. So we had to create a workflow that would allow us to, yes, use AI with translations, but also to be able to create translation memories and to not lose that feature. Because if you use AI with translation, then how can you put it into memoQ and take advantage of translation memories the same way? And next time the client asks for something, how can you pre-translate it and use it and reuse it again? So we asked ChatGPT to translate, yes, for this client, but then to break the text into sentences and align these sentences, the original text, the translated text, again, in Excel format. And in memoQ, using the import with options filter, you can import it directly into your memoQ. You have the original, you have a translation that was done by ChatGPT, and from here, you can create your translation memories, and next time you get this job, you'll be able to use the previous translations done by ChatGPT. Obviously, this has been having some advantages and disadvantages, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about both. It has proved to be efficient. It has proved to be working well. Our translators are being able to improve their works with this. Some of them improved their quality as well, quality translations. It's a streamlined workflow. It's highly customizable. You can automate this to almost anything you can imagine using the hotkeys. And by the way, these hotkeys, the scripts we use, were created by ChatGPT. So you don't even have to know how to do this, and you don't even have to be that tech-savvy to be able to use this. Because if you don't know how to do it, you can ask ChatGPT, keep testing, keep trying, and eventually you will reach a way of achieving what you want. Multitasking, you don't have to keep changing through interfaces and through programs. You will be able to multitask more efficiently. Your productivity will increase. As I said, we had some translators who enhanced their, it's something like a 10 to 20% gain from our translators in 1 year. Reduce repetitive strain and improve stress management. These two are huge ones. For our team, when I ask them, what is the benefit of this for you? What did you gain from this? This is the first thing they mention. I have less stress where I work, and I have less pain in my wrist because I don't have to keep moving to mouse, keyboard, and all that. So this is huge, huge improvement. Improved focus, because they know they have the tools, they're focusing on their tasks. Ergonomics, enhanced ergonomics, obviously, and their confidence also increased because they know they have what they need to work in a certain task. But obviously, it has some weaknesses. It's a complex process. It has a slow learning curve. And obviously, we have an internal team of translators. We cannot force this with our freelancers, of course. And this is something that costs money. You need to invest in a Stream Deck. And for us, as we use paid ChatGPT plan, we need to invest in that as well. And even that plan that is paid has some limitations, such as limited functionality, because if you keep asking it questions, it gets to a point where it starts using ChatGPT 3.5. It doesn't use 4 anymore. So you will get less quality answers, and you will not be able to export your document anymore. You have to wait for it to be able to use ChatGPT 4 again. Also, the replies. What you've seen here is, I recorded the videos, but I obviously cut the time, but some of the replies take some time. For example, extracting the terms and translating it for a large text, it can take you up like 5-10 minutes. So this obviously takes time to process by the machine, and this is something that it's a weakness for this process, because you have to wait for it to be completed. But ending on a more positive note, it has potential. We've seen the benefits of it, and we are trying to improve it every day. And now we are also trying to, I don't have the results because we're at the very beginning, working on integrating it with project managers as well. Because any repetitive task you can think of can be automated using these tools. And you don't, as I said, you don't have to be tech-savvy, you just have to be curious and use your imagination, as Jay was saying. So, and just for you to have an idea, we have translators who use this in something like more than 13 different tools per day. So imagine working in more than 13 tools per day, between CAT tools, websites, programs, whatever you can imagine, opening these different tabs, suddenly that disappears. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's it. I think I'm short in time, but that's all for me. Thank you very much for being here, and yeah.
Thank you, Ines. You are very well on time. We actually are on time compared to the original schedule as well. So thank you for being economic here. I'm wondering if there are any questions. Yes, I'm running.
Thanks. That was a great presentation. For someone that wanted to dip their toes into the waters of what you've just shown, is there a particular model of stream? You have a mini, like a six key option there. I'm not so familiar with the Stream Deck product line, but you mentioned that people are using it for 13 different tools. Mm-hmm. And so I can imagine, like, with 6 buttons, or you get a bigger one, and you get 20 buttons. How do you contextually sort of show people, are there screens on the actual caps that you can program to, like, tell people what does what? Can you talk a little bit about the logistics of what the user experience is like?
Of course, thank you for the question. So Stream Deck works with something called profiles, and you can create a profile for each tool you use. And then you can create a button, which will take you to the profile menu. And yes, every button you can insert any image you want, any text you want, so you can know what it's referring to without having to go to your computer. So yes, and I think in my Stream Deck, I have like 20 profiles, different profiles. And also, this can be exported and sent to other users. So I can export my profiles, send it to someone else who has a Stream Deck. They just have to import it, and it's ready to use. So yeah, obviously, for project managers, probably a 15 button or 32 button is much better because this is more portable, so depends on what you need. But yeah, I don't know. I hope I answered your question. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Actually, I have a confession to make. When I looked like I wasn't paying attention, I was looking up information on Stream Decks because that's an amazing kind of device, and I knew nothing about them prior to your presentation. So that's another thing that I'm thankful for. Definitely gonna give them a try. Do we have any other questions? Yeah.
So Gaetan again, 6 continents. Ines, when Philippe pitched me about the Stream Deck last year, I was like most people today in the room, like, wow, I mean, it's intriguing. Well, thanks to you, all the team is using them now as well. I was wondering maybe if you could elaborate. You showcased a lot of like linguistic use cases with the buttons. Could you share maybe some use cases?
Other?
Yeah, like for project managers, also regarding maybe your business management system or email maybe or.
Yeah, definitely. So all of that, everything you said can be automated. Sending emails, you can attach your templates to a Stream Deck and say, just press a button and it will send to someone. You can even set send to this email. Send this template to this email. If you're only sending the same email to the same person, I don't know. You can do it. Also, something else it can do is it can store your credentials. So let's say you keep entering a client server and then another client server, another client server. You can set a button for each client. It will enter the server for you. You don't have to memorize the credentials or have it somewhere else. Our TMS system creates projects it's kind of create a button per template per project. So one button, one template, one project. It can do that as well. With PMs, we're still experimenting, but these are our ideas of what it can do. PMs are harder to convince than translators, but we're trying to convince them to use this more often. Yeah.
Actually, that was another thing that I was looking up information on, and I found a place where they say that you can use any scripting language with the Stream Deck that supports WebSockets. That pretty much means JavaScript, PowerShell, whatever, and I found a complete GitHub repository where there are scripts about that. So there are endless possibilities. So that was intriguing.
Yeah.
So again, so thank you for opening my eyes up for this.
In that line, I would recommend you to look into AutoHotkey as well, because you can create shortcuts for anything on your computer using that. Yeah, and not memoQ, ChatGPT will again use it, help you to create scripts to use it in whatever ways you want. Yeah, so it's. I mean, I know nothing about programming, and the videos I showed, I set them up without knowing anything about what I was actually doing, but it worked. So.
Thank you very much. Maybe we have time for one more question? But if there are no more questions, let's give a round of applause to Ines. Thank you very much.